Hello.
Hi, everybody. It's the Me and My Boyfriend Nicole podcast. My name's Aurora.
And I'm the boyfriend, Nicole.
Yay! And we're coming to you
Yay.
from separate households.
Right?
um, I have been deathly ill this
Mm-hmm.
past week. Like, let's just take a moment to appreciate our healthy bodies that are still
Yes.
moving and going. Let me tell you.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Nothing quite
Oh,
makes you appreciate feeling healthy and good than when you have been sick as a dog.
right?
Like, holy,
And here we are.
here we are. So I think you can probably still hear it in my voice a little bit. And I may cough, but I'm feeling much better, y'all. And I didn't want to get Nicole sick because, I love and care about her. So,
Absolutely. Yes. And Nicole didn't want to be sick. So,
well, to be fair,
so here we are.
here we are.
So,
Yeah.
what we talking about today, Miss Aurora?
So I wanted to talk about how I have been dating in the dating world, back in the dating scene for a little over a year now.
Yay!
And
Woo!
it's been interesting and fun. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I just think about how far I've come in such, I mean, really, a year is a short amount of time when you think about it.
Yes.
So I just want to share my thoughts. And you
Right?
have a joke that I'm doing everything, your process, like sped up.
Yes, my process took altogether probably 3 years, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And you're on the speed track. Every time I'm like, oh my gosh, like I just learned this. And then 2 seconds later, you're right there. And I'm like, I'm so glad that all of my foul ups and mess ups and stumbling and falling, you paid attention to. We're like, not doing that. Okay. You're like, we're fast tracking this. We're doing the Cliff Notes version.
Yeah. Still putting in the work.
Right? Uh, and it's been such a beautiful thing to watch you go through this experience,
Oh, thank you.
right? All the way back to uh, the Jeff episode.
Yeah. Well, I just think it's funny because I did not want to get on dating apps. Like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
That was the last, like, I'm pretty sure, like, you, Trinity, and Hunter, like, made the profile for me.
Yes, we are in my bed that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're like, we're doing this. And everybody was helping you and picking pictures and what you should write and everything.
I
And we're
was
like,
like,
do it. It was
yeah.
a family event. Yeah.
It was fun.
Yes.
And now, a year later,
Here we are.
here we are. Um, Dated quite a few different people, had a few experiences,
Right.
like
It's
new
beautiful.
things about myself.
Yes.
Things that I used to like but don't like anymore,
What?
which I think is important.
Yes. I
Uh,
agree.
but I'm definitely here's the things I've noticed in myself since I started dating.
Yes.
Much more emotionally vulnerable.
Oh my goodness. What?
Huh?
I said, what? Vulnerable. The V word. What?
Vulnerable.
You?
Much more expressive
Yes.
about my feelings, thoughts, emotions, um, sexually everything. Like Jeff, just definitely. Oh, I don't know why I just said Jeff. That was weird. Uh,
Flashback.
Flashbacks. Um, just definitely more willing to say what I want, which
Yeah.
I
And know
never
what you want.
and know what I. I've never really been like that before. I just kind of like I'm definitely the suffer in silence type for
Mm-hmm.
sure. Um, what that comes from, that's a whole nother episode. But
Yeah.
uh, definitely never been willing to like be like, no, I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Girl, boundaries are a thing now.
We didn't even know what those were a year ago.
No,
Neither of us. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Things I'm willing to discuss, things I'm not willing to discuss. Uh, people I'm willing to give my time to that I wasn't before, or even people I was giving my time to that I didn't really want to be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm definitely still a
And knowing
person
your
that,
worth.
yes.
Yes. For you personally, just for
Yeah.
you, the amazing, beautiful, just fabulous, wonderful, caring, loving, just best person that you know that about yourself, like just feeling it and loving yourself and everything that is Aurora. Like how good that feels.
Yeah, knowing what I bring to the table. Like,
Yes.
um,
And we've talked about it so many times. How many times is it that all the people that you talk to and date and everything else show you even more about yourself, whether they're a yes or a no?
oh yeah. Oh shit. Sorry, that was my cocktail. Uh, I'm sitting outside now. I don't know if you guys can hear that.
Right.
I've been
And I
stuck
was
inside the house,
right.
so I'm in the morning.
And I was getting ready for work. That was dressers closing, everything that you heard earlier. So
Yes.
because we're in real time in real life. This is a
Yeah.
real thing. This is
But
really our lives.
yes,
But
we love
yes,
so much that we're like, yo, we're gonna record.
right.
Anyway,
But
back on.
continue on, Queen. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's another thing that I think is like kind of happened with the podcast, but also dating. Like, just being myself and like enjoying like every little moment.
Mm.
Like every moment with you, like with other people, like just having a good time, not rushing everything. Like I'm definitely a rusher. Like we got to do this now. Like let's get this done. Like, and I just want to thank you. Like you have definitely helped me like work on that.
Aww. I love you too, boo.
Yeah. Um, you and I have very different like timetables for things.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so like I want to thank you. You have helped me develop patience. that,
What?
that is not one of my virtues that I was naturally gifted with. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
my mom told me that she knew I was going to be an impatient person because I was born a whole 2 weeks early.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and
Well,
you've been impatient ever since.
well, I think it's a beautiful gift though, is those type of things, those things that don't come naturally, that you have to work at and you have to learn, that it becomes this beautiful gift because now you appreciate it even more. You didn't even
Yeah.
recognize it before. Like you would have taken it for granted. And now it's this beautiful thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Patience is a virtue. Who knew?
Patience is a virtue.
And how many times we were having coffee this morning and we were saying quotes to each other, and I was like, who knew all that stuff that people said is actually true? You know?
Well, I just had this thought. I used to always like I don't want to say judge, but we'll call a spade a spade. I used to judge people um that were like, "Oh, I like being in a relationship, like I need to be in a relationship, that kind of thing, like because it makes me a better person." And I'm always like, I feel like that should be like an internal journey. Like you should be working on yourself independent of other people. But now I think what they were trying to say is that I'm learning and getting new experiences from other people. And that is what's helping me
Well,
come.
I think, oh, Nicole, welcome to the
Hi,
podcast. We've been talking about you for a year. Hi, it's the other Nicole.
the other
Um,
Nicole.
right? But I think what it is that is your interpretation of what they're saying, not necessarily what they were trying to say. So maybe that's how you feel about relationships now. Like it's changed for you.
Maybe I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is that what you want from relationships?
No, so I
Where are
don't
you
know. I
going?
think it's kind of like one of those like growing together things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, But I do think you do like the more people you get introduced to, the different kind of things you learn about
Right.
yourself, other people.
Well, and that's how you figure out what you want and who you
Yeah,
are and what you need, girl. Mm-hmm.
girl. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so I used to be like, oh, I just want somebody that makes me laugh. Now I'm like, oh, fuck that. Like that's surface level. Like
How do you
now
touch my soul?
now I'm like, I want someone that like is physically intimate with me, like who jokes around with me, who helps me cook, helps me around the house, like who I do all the same things for them, like who gives me attention. I thought I didn't want attention. Oh, I want attention now. Yeah,
Mm.
no, I need you to talk to me every day.
What? So
Yeah,
I'm gonna catch Nicole up. Aurora is going over her last year of dating because she had been out of dating for a
long time,
while,
long
five
time.
years. And so she's been dating and she's doing a catch up and explained to us what she's learning this year.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're gonna have to have like 20 podcasts for mine.
Mm-hmm. So what else, Boo?
um just being like open and honest about like what I want. Um like the other day I was with a gentleman and he tried something and I was like, no, absolutely not. Like, do not ever do that again. um it was something that I wouldn't have said no to before, because I'm like, oh, he likes it, but now I'm like, that don't work for me, move on.
Mhm. And what was his response to that?
And he was like, oh, I'm sorry. And then like we had like a little conversation about it. I was like, no, like it's not that, it's just I don't really like that. And then afterwards he's like, I find it very attractive and I really like that you tell me exactly what you do and do not like. He's like, I've never had a woman say that to me before. He's like, that is very sexy.
Hot.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I'm in it too. Like, I want to be having a good time too.
How crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you know, whoever tells us like, oh, don't say what you want because we're women or whatever, like sometimes I don't know about you, but I felt like that sometimes growing up, that I couldn't express.
100%. And I've been
Like,
fighting against that my whole life within
yeah.
myself. Someone else's baggage that they put on me, you
Mm-hmm.
know, um, that became my mantra in my head. Somehow my mind was like, this is the way it should be. And then I had to change that programming in my head, you know? And that's one of the reasons I don't like the word lady. To me, it's a 4-letter word because in my experience and what I've seen is the whole, you're not acting like a lady, behave like a lady, dress like a lady, a lady wouldn't say that, blah, blah. Well, then I'm not a fucking lady.
Mm-hmm.
And being upset and angry about something that was never my thought process. It was put into my head. And I think so many times that's what we're doing is
Yeah.
processing out and filtering out the stuff that it's not even that no longer serves us. It's that it never served us and it was never us, you
Right.
know?
Right.
Yes. And dating is a process of that. And it's trying to find out who you are so you can meet your person, the perfect person for you, which you've been doing excellent, you know?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. It's also like helping me work through like, I don't want to say like, hi dad, I know you're listening. I didn't think my parents' divorce affected me when it came to relationships,
Mm-hmm.
which was very naive on my part. But
Mm-hmm.
it did. It for sure did.
But another thing too, though, is in a positive or negative way, their relationship affects you.
Oh yeah.
Everything affects you, especially your parental relationship.
Yeah.
But every relationship that you have in your life that is significant to you is going to affect you, positive or negative. And
Mm-hmm.
though it may seem negative at the time, like them getting a divorce, would them have staying together and not being happy been better? I mean.
No, so what I wanted to say about that is I'm ultimately very happy that my parents got divorced. I've never been bitter about it. I think it was one of the best decisions they ever made for me, for each other, everything. Like I think ultimately my parents are much happier not together than they were together, because I remember growing up with them together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but what that did teach me, ultimate lesson, is if you're not happy, you don't have to stick with it, which I think is a beautiful lesson to learn.
Mm-hmm. And that
Um,
you're still a family no matter what.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that was the ultimate takeaway. But it did make me put like a little bit of a wall up.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever want to get hurt like that. And I didn't realize how thick that wall was. I mean, other things have kind of added to it, but like I've been slowly like pulling those like bricks away.
Yeah.
Like one at a time, sometimes two. Sometimes we put a couple back. We're like, wait a minute, that part's really vulnerable. We maybe need to put a wall in front of that part. But like the other day, I was gonna go on this date with the guy, and I was all excited. And I don't usually get excited. You can ask Nicole. I'm like, oh yeah, we're going on a date. Like whatever. Like, no. But I was like, ooh, like I'm going on a date. I really enjoy this guy. We have good conversation. Like we seem to vibe. Like this is great. And then he just like full on ghosted me and unmatched. And my feelings were actually hurt. And I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't felt this level of rejection and hurt in years.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my goodness, this sucks. But then I was like, oh my goodness, this is so beautiful that I actually let myself get excited about something. And then I was ultimately very happy. And it let me know how much I had grown in like such a short amount of time. Because I was like, oh, you were emotionally vulnerable and excited about somebody. Good for you. Look at you. I'm proud.
It's so beautiful. And then it lets you know, like it was a check-in to where you're at. That's
Yeah.
where our emotions are a gift because
Yeah.
you didn't even know you were excited or upset or whatever. So many times things happen and we didn't even know it was a big deal to us. And then we have these emotional response to it. And they're like, what? That was a big deal? But it's a gift because now you know, okay, I do want a relationship. I am ready for one.
Yeah. And literally right after that happened, like I started talking to somebody that I'm currently dating now. And like
Mm-hmm.
the only person I'm dating right now, which is new. Like I'm in a new
Yes.
chapter.
Yes. Isn't it crazy how that happens though?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a little like it was like a last lock
Mm-hmm.
had been finally taken away that I didn't know was there.
Yay. And we're just enjoying the moment, right?
So a year later, here's what I've learned. Say what you want, do what you want, be with who you
Mm-hmm.
be 100% yourself because girl, let me tell you, you can only put up the front for so long. I know pretty much within the first few minutes with somebody whether or not it's going to go anywhere, which I kind of already knew that, but like now I really know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now I'm like, ooh. Like very
You
rarely,
acknowledge it. Yeah.
yes. Very rarely is like that first like little instinct wrong. When it comes to things like that. And not putting myself in a box
Mm-hmm.
and letting myself play.
Oh, I like that.
Didn't let myself play before.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So it's
I don't know.
beautiful and wonderful and spectacular and fun, right?
It's fun. Wasn't fun before. It's fun now.
Mm-hmm.
What have you learned in the last year of me dating, Nicole?
That flowers can bloom and grow and blossom and be even more spectacular or beautiful than you ever imagined possible.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Watching you go through this and the ups and downs and the struggles and the I don't even want that to I really want it to, you know, I don't know what I want. We'll just see what happens to I know exactly what I don't want, you know?
Oh yeah. Oh girl. It has definitely been a lot of like, I don't know exactly what I want, but I don't want that.
Yes, yes. And seeing you just grow and just experience and love like everything you're going through. And I'm just so excited to meet your person. Like, I'm so excited and excited for you to meet your person, truly. Like, ah, oh, I just can't wait to see you two just like just all cutesy together. Like, oh, it's gonna be so adorable. I'm just going to explode. Like, just to see you in that happy joy, and that not only is your soul at peace and are you madly in love, but like 100% you are yourself with another person and just happy, like no stress, no worry. I think that is exactly what you were talking about, where it makes you a better person because you love you, and now you've allowed someone else to love you, and how beautiful that is, you know. Crickets, really?
Oh no, I sorry that made me a little emotional. I was trying not to cry.
Oh, I got you, boo.
Oh, girl. I'll tell you about that later. I don't know if it was messed up. I don't know. So I have a coworker, and he was playing like all these like sad country songs. I was like, dude, why are you trying to make me cry right now at work? Like, this is like messed up. Like, don't do that. And he's like, oh, I got something for you. So, girl, literally the last 30 minutes of my shift was him playing sad country music, trying to get me to cry. Like, I'm like, this is some sadistic, twisted, fucked up.
Yes, but apparently him and the universe felt like you needed to have an emotional release, and that
Uh,
is a gift.
I guess so, girl. He almost got me.
I was
He
like, did it happen? What was the song that almost got you? Do you know?
Oh god, I don't even know what it was called. I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Mm.
Like, but like I felt it, like the tears were like welling up in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no, suck them back in.
What do you think it was? Was it a like welling up of emotions, that wall being let down, that you're admitting that you want that love, or was it
No,
something else?
no, it was all like this is so messed up. Like it was all like veteran songs, like
Oh,
soldiers and like military and like the love and like all of that stuff, and like it was
mm-hmm.
just really close to home.
Yes. Well, your parents, the men that you have loved, like,
Yeah,
we live in a military town, like it
yeah,
surrounds us, it's in us, it's literally in our blood.
yeah.
Yes,
It
yes.
it was hitting pretty close to home, and like a lot of them were like 9/11 era country songs, which I
Mm,
don't know if you remember that time of country music.
yes, I do.
It it's a certain level of emotion
Yes.
all tied up into it, and I was like,
Mm,
you ain't gonna get me. You ain't gonna do it. I ain't
mm.
gonna cry at work.
Well, I think that's beautiful too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, look how far you've come, because a
I
year ago you would have been like, really, I've heard that song, and now you're like, we have emotions and we can't turn them off. I think we've had those moments.
Oh yeah. Well, it was kind of making me laugh too, because I was remembering like when you and I were both going through like that really emotional phase where
Yes.
everything felt like it was turned on 100, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my god.
Yeah. Well, for the first time in both our lives, we decided to allow ourselves to be vulnerable and then
Ugh.
couldn't turn it off. Yeah, I remember that. I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah, yeah. But it also, I was like, oh my god, I need to put like a little bit of the armor back on, but I didn't put so much back on that I couldn't take it off.
Yes,
Um,
yes. I do understand.
I really can't be an emotional freaking mess everywhere. This is getting too much.
Oh,
I got to
well,
put a little bit of me back on here.
exactly. But that's part of you. And now you're able to put it all together and be all your sides at one time and feel comfortable, literally, in your skin.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. So I'm so excited to see what the next year brings.
Me too.
Hopefully, you're boo.
Hopefully.
He may already be here. Who knows?
Any hoozles.
Yes.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes. And I just want to take a moment and say, I love you, Aurora.
I love you. I love both the Nicoles.
Yes. And we love the people and
Yeah,
so excited to see what happens, because you're going to hear about it here. So
absolutely.
have a beautiful day.
Yeah. Okay, bye. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below.
Yes.
Hit us with the 5-star rating on iTunes.
Right. And tell us about your love life and your year.
Ooh, yes.
So,
What have you learned in your love life in the past year?
yes. All right. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.